Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll be finishing the chapter We Are All Not Afraid to Die If We All Can Be Together. As discussed earlier, the story is about the courage, the determination with which a family fights in the deadliest situation, with the deadliest waves, and comes out to be a winner. It emerges out to be a winner, and all of them, with their courage, beat the deadly waves and come out to be the survivors. Right? It's about the family unity, how the family fights for their survival all together. That is why the title was given, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We All Can Be Together. The story, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, is a story of extreme courage and skill exhibited by Gordon Cook, his family, crewmen in a war with water and waves for survival. In July 1976, the narrator, his wife Mary, son Jonathan, and daughter Suzanne set sail from Plymouth, England, to duplicate round the world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. Now, what they were doing, they decided to cover the entire world through sea route. The similar voyage had been taken 200 years ago by Captain James Cook, and they wanted to repeat the same voyage through the sea routes of the world. They had decided to take one complete round of the earth through the sea routes. They took the voyage in their professionally built ship, the Wave Walker, accompanied by two experienced sailors, Larry Vigil, an American, and Herb Segler, a Swiss, to tackle one of the world's roughest seas, the Southern Indian Ocean. The first part of the journey, that is about 1,05,000 kilometers up to Cape Town, passed off very pleasantly. On the second day out of Cape Town, they began to encounter strong gales. Gales did not worry the narrator, but the size of the waves was alarming, up to 15 meters, as high as the mainmast. Mainmast is the curvy portion, right? The curvy portion of the ship where one stands, a kind of railing type. On 25th December, the writer's ship was in the Southern Indian Ocean, 3,500 kilometers to the east of Cape Town. The family celebrated their New Year on board the ship. At dawn on January 2, the waves were gigantic. Unfriendly weather and gigantic waves compelled the sailors to slow their speed, drop storm jib, and take other precautions. The danger was so obvious that the sailors completed life raft drill, attached lifelines and life jackets. Suddenly at 6 p.m., a tremendous explosion shook the Wave Walker, and the author was thrown overboard. The ship was about to capsize when another gigantic wave hit it, tossing it upright once again. The author was thrown back onto the deck, his head and ribs smashing against the walls. In spite of his injuries, the narrator took charge of the situation. Somehow he found the wheel, lined up the stem for the next wave, and hung on it till Mary appeared and took charge of the wheel. Larry and Herb started pumping out water like madmen. The whole starboard side bulged inwards. The narrator managed to cover canvas across the gaps to prevent water from entering the ship. Then came more problems. Their hand pumps stopped working, and electric pumps short circuited. Fortunately, the narrator found a spare electric pump under the chart room that worked. The entire night was spent in pumping, steering, repairing, and sending radio signals. The narrator checked charts and calculated that the Amsterdam, a French scientific base, was their only hope. So the situation in the evening at 6 p.m. it got worsened, right? The waves were so high that they have started entering the ship. They've started entering the ship. The water started entering the ship. The electric pumps, they had short circuited. So Larry and Herb, they were throwing water out of the ship like madmen, because if the water would have started entering the ship, right, the ship would have sunk in the ocean. Mary took the charge of the wheel. Everyone was trying their best to survive. And slowly, they have even, they were sending radio signals as well, so that they could find the nearest base station and they can halt there. But the condition was worsening. Sue and John were injured, but they said that they were not afraid to die if they could all be together. Sue's head was swollen and she had a deep injury. The narrator became more determined seeing his children's courage, right? The children over here, right? In general scenario, what happens? The children get scared, right? They get scared, they start crying. But over here, the courage of Suzanne and Jonathan, right? They were supporting their parent. They were not afraid and they didn't show even a sign of worry on their forehead, just so that their parents could get determined and they can fight, and they all can come out of this worst full situation. Finally, they reached Lie Amsterdam, a volcanic island where they were welcomed by 28 inhabitants. Thus, the collective strength and never failing optimism of the sailors made it possible for them to come out of the jaws of death. Though Jonathan and Suzanne did not do anything to save Wave Walker, but their courage, forbearance, faith, and optimism gave extra strength and persistence to the narrator and his team. The bravery of the strong willed children is noteworthy in the story. So, class, this story is all about, it's all about a voyage which a family decides to take. The voyage which was completed by another captain named James Cook 200 years ago, right? And they were deciding to duplicate the same voyage. They decided to take a complete round of the earth through sea routes, right? And while they were taking it in a specially designed ship named Wave Walker, and they have even taken assistance of two people, right, of two professionals, right, who were very good at their work and who would have helped them to tackle any situation if arises in the sea. One was your Larry Vigil and the another one was Herb Siegler. Things went on very smoothly till the time they reached Cape Town, right? Till Cape Town, till the time they had covered 105,000 kilometer, things were smooth and they were enjoying their voyage. But as soon as the ship enters the Indian Ocean, things began to get worsen, right? Things began to get worsen. The waves, the waves were high and the waves were gigantic. They were scary, and the way the weather all of a sudden turned, the storm came, and the way it has it had caused defects in the ship, right? The way the water was entering into the ship, it felt like they would not survive. The family would not survive. Larry and Herb would not be able to survive, and they would not be able to come out of the danger. But the courage, the faith, the optimism, the determination with which all of them have fought, and especially the children, right? The way they have given encouragement to their parents, it deserved a salute, right? They had fought very well. They had fought with encouragement. They had fought it with optimism, and it deserves a big applaud. And finally, they were able to reach a safe place, an island named Amsterdam. They were able to reach to a safer place so that they could, contact their respective. You can say they can contact their respective countries and they can go back to the place they belong to. But they have even faced the worst phase of their life. They have seen death from the very near, right? They've seen death from very near, and they all were scared, but still they all were happy that they had come out together, and they all are alive, and they are all together. Now class, what you will do is you will write down, you will draw the background theme of the chapter, and you will create dialogues for the same. If any query is there, you people are free to ask me on your WhatsApp group. Thank you.